DG of the National Council for Arts and Culture has pleaded with the Lagos State government. And this is saying that as we appreciate the fact that the younger generations, the Gen Zs, have an expository about what our culture stands for, it is also important that our filmmakers also do a proper research. Sikian.
Well, I agree. Looking at Nollywood now, specifically, when Nollywood started, one of the basic elements was to promote our culture, our lifestyle, and the way we do things. And that was what made Nollywood the biggest movie industry in the whole of Africa, and the second in the world, even over and above Bollywood at a point. But in terms of revenue, it might not be the same. When you look at the number of movies being churned out every day, in fact, I'm sure we churn out more movies than even Hollywood. Now there was some level of acceptance. But as time goes on, the difference between what we do and what is done abroad is you see some level of patriotism. If you see an average American film, most people don't understand how this thing works. If you see an average American movie, in the course of that movie, you will see American flag. People don't know. You just think that, to you just think that it's just, they are subconsciously selling themselves, selling their culture. If you see a Chinese film, the same thing. If you see this thing, the same thing. But ours here, our people just believe, oh, let's just turn it out and so. There have been some movies there's a particular one that is causing so much controversy. I've not watched it, so I cannot even comment about it. But I've read so many commentaries, even people say that the movie did not depict Lagos in a very good manner. It has not did and the rest of it. But a lot of research needs to be done. Now, we have an organization that is in charge, set up by the government, that is in charge of movies. I've forgotten the Film and Censors Board. Film and Censors Board. It is their duty to be able to make sure that every movie that is turned out in Nigeria is approved, gets approval. But you can be rest assured that, one, the corruption that's within the system won't allow that. Because the producers, once they throw money at the whoever is the approval will just be giving you just as we're talking about what is happening in radio stations, the jingles and the rest of them, when I was working, I don't know whether you have it in TVC, like what we call traffic. In those days, when I started my journalism career at Lagos Television. That's what is called traffic. If this thing does not pass through traffic, it will never go on air. I'm sure you have it here. They might call it whatever name. It could be quality control, whatever. Yes, it will not go. It will not go on air, irrespective of whatever money you pay. TVC.
Oh, we have
it. You have it because of the level of profession. There are some radio stations that don't have it. All they do is bring your jingle. How much is 10,000 naira? They say pay, take it. It goes on. It goes off.
All right, Bikio, I haven't seen Gangs of Lagos, but I understand that aside the Lagos state government saying what it is about this movie, we've also seen some chieftains, Lagos chiefs, saying their own, pouring out their own minds. And we also had Vector, who is not really known to talk a lot, also saying there is something not going well.
Yeah, especially the portrayal of Ayo as violent, as criminal-minded and all that. Ayo, Ayo has never been known for
violence,
being violent and being criminal in nature. So you can't, when you are talking about even the underworld people, the negatively inclined roughnecks in Lagos, you cannot link them to Ayo, for God's sake. Even when they are singing, they are praying for people. Look at, if you listen to their song that Masha was praying for you to be fruitful, praying, So they are not. It's not as if because you see them carrying a plank sheet that they are using it to beat people. No. Even if I was saying where they will just like patting you on the back with it. They are not going around clubbing people with that stick. It's more, it's a culture, it's part of the culture of Lagos, but it has never been identified with violence. If anybody does a movie that portrays Lagos to be so crime-infested and portrays the Eyo as being the enablers of violent people in Lagos, then that is wrong. And it shows that the census board didn't do its work.
Exactly.
Because where people are negatively portrayed, you've got to be able to say, no, don't do this.
Remove that.
So, what is the knowledge, the all-round knowledge of Lagos that the writers of that movie have? It's just like saying, oh, in Kano, when they do the Doba, oh, they use it to beat up people, to kill people and all that. No, of course, that's not what it's about. It's just an element of the people's culture, something that draws people together. They want to see it, you know what? And is the rarefied chiefs of Lagos that even carry Eyo. So to identify them with criminality in the way that the movie has portrayed them is very bad. It's very, very bad. And I can understand why the Lagos governor and other people are really mad that you have been portrayed in this manner. Secondly, whether people like it or not, the fact is Lagos is one of the most peaceful states in our country. All of the crimes, especially kidnapping, that we read about in other places, even in the southwest here, Lagos has the lowest level of kidnapping, if at all it even exists. It's in other states, Oyo, Osun, and that's where you hear of kidnapping. Ondo, which is the gateway to the north. That's where you have a lot of kidnapping. In Lagos, it's literally non-existent. I think even the last time I heard about it was one retired naval officer also that was kidnapped through the waterways. It rarely happens. The school kidnapping that happened in Lagos was years ago.
Even the one of the popular female artists that was to happen a few days ago.
Yes, they nipped it in the bud.
They nipped it in the bud.
It didn't happen. So Lagos is not, you can't identify, I mean, you cannot make it look like Lagos is so infested with crime. Lagos is such a terrible place when it comes to crime. No, the facts do not point to that. And it's the entertainment capital of our country where you expect that, okay, there will be a lot of crime. But Lagos has shown, is said to be one of the most peaceful states in our country, one of the least infested by criminals. To come up with a movie that tries to show that Lagos is terrible, let such people go to some states in the north and even in the south and see the level of crime in those places. It's just, it's not right at all. I'm really disappointed.
So, as much as we appreciate our young producers and filmmakers putting Nigeria on the global map, it's also very important to say that thorough research is very,
they should do more research.
Yes,
You don't just pick up a script and just go and start shooting.
All right.